You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one is from Mexel, who says, rant about elections slash voting. Voting is for cowards. That's my current stance. I mean, it's fine. Do it if you want to. But there was a great video that Devu did like a year or so ago where he was talking about how, abstaining from the vote is a vote because it's counted. We know the population. We know how many people are in America, and we know how many people are or are not voting and who they are voting for. So if you are abstaining from the vote, it means that you don't care enough. And if you don't care enough, it means that you haven't been moved. You have not been moved to vote. Now, when Obama won, that was because he moved a lot of people to vote. A lot of people, particularly the black community, who don't always typically vote, came out to vote because they wanted a black president. Makes sense. So, that's an example of activating a demographic of non-voters. Now, if you just go out and vote because you want the lesser of two evils, now, I understand the fear that people on one side or the other feel for the other side. That, Republicans and Democrats, they both really think the other side are absolute morons, that they will ruin the country, that they will fuck everything up, that everything's going to shit all the time. If your side's not in office, everything's getting worse. From my perspective, it's more like both of these parties are going to ruin my life and the world. It doesn't matter who gets elected. They will ruin everything. They are all a part of the same system. They're all from the same place. They all have very similar intentions. They're all just trying to move the line a little bit this way and a little bit that way. And I've never seen, in my lifetime in America, an upheaval. I've never seen something change so dramatically that it altered the way that my daily life goes on. There has been wars, and that's I'm opposed. I'm opposed to war. Always, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. But, we started wars. That affects a lot of people. Doesn't affect me if I'm not related to anyone in the war or fighting the war. So, I understand why some people would have more of a horse in this game than others. But if you're like me, and you look at both sides, and you're like, these are both evil, which one's the lesser evil, so I can vote for them? That's not helping me in any way. It's not helping me to throw my hat in with someone I completely disagree with and don't want in office. If anything, by abstaining, I am telling you, neither of these candidates are good enough. Start over. Try somebody else. And as Devu pointed out, somebody can look at that, look at what demographics aren't voting, and figure out how do we activate these people by, listening to what they actually want, finding someone who represents that, and putting them up for us to vote for, Because it comes to a point where if enough people aren't voting, it's difficult to even consider it a true democratic election, There used to be, when this system was conjured up, I believe everyone had to vote on a decision. But we are in a situation now where you come to the booth, and it's you versus everybody else who's decided to vote, and all of those people are trying to vote tactically for whichever person they want more than the other. It's not people voting for what they want. It's people voting for what they don't want, or what they want, which one they want least. It's like you basically saying, I don't want that guy, so I'll vote for this guy. A lot of the time. There are a lot of people who sincerely want the candidate, obviously, but, when you've only got 35% of the population turning out to vote, and half of those people don't even really care for either candidate, they're just voting for the one they want least, your whole system's fucked, And I don't think that it's being identified that way enough. I think there's too many people who are fine with things as they are, who are fine with continuing this rigmarole into infinity, and I'm not okay with it. I think that we need to change the whole fucking way we do things. I think that this system inherently leads to this problem, and that if we can't solve that problem, I'm not going to participate in that system, And I think that to do so out of fear that people are going to mock you or judge you for not voting. People are going to try to bully you, especially older people who, like, I understand why they care so much, but they just want you to vote for their team. Anybody who says you need to vote, they don't want you to vote for the guy they don't want you to vote for. They're just insisting that you vote, hoping that you will make the choice they want you to make, which is fucking ridiculous. So, people pressuring you into voting, those people disgust me, and I think they need to be vilified and shunned. So, fuck voting. I don't do it, and I don't promote it until there is something that could actually motivate me to think that I'm doing something with my vote, doing something that would actually benefit me, and not just perpetuating a system I don't believe in.